Well, Trojans, I can't say it's Friday anymore because now the show is going to be on Wednesdays. And I love my Miller Moss, Preston. I love that Miller Moss, ladies and gentlemen, nice. The weekend. I guess we can't use that anymore. It's Wednesday. So, hey, it is the same show. This is the Trojan Conquest call-in show. Where is your guys' show? You guys are the stars of the show. We're not cutting you guys off. And I told you guys this, we won't be the last, but we were definitely the first to give you guys a show where you guys come in and you guys talk about Trojan football. They say imitation is the biggest form of sincere form of flattery, and I will take it. We want to take the show in a little bit direction. The Trojan family, man, you guys have been so damn negative right now. I'm not saying there's not a reason to be questioning what's going on. I'm not saying that everything's rosy and great here in Troy, but I am saying maybe you guys got to take another aspect of this, and I want to flip it. Tonight, you can come and talk. This is your show here, but I want you to answer this question. I want you to finish this sentence for me, regardless of however you want to send it. Is this season is still a success if this season is still so USC season is still a success if, and then you fill in that blank for me. They're 3-3 right now. Really, I refuse to say 3-3. I'm going to say 4-2 with an asterisk because really, again, we saw that Minnesota game, and I'm still not letting that one go. But there are some things that need to happen. We got some really bad news. Another great Trojan goes down. Anthony Lucas, who's been playing out of his mind. Probably, when we lost Gentry, who now officially is out for the season as well, he was the guy I think we were looking to on this team. We have a lot of great players, but we don't have a lot of stars on this team. And this defense is starting to lose some of its star power and firepower. Hopefully, we're going to get Jacoby Covington back soon or then later. But right now, this defense is really probably struggling to look for that playmaker on a team that really has had trouble getting to the quarterback. This season, we now have our two guys who are most likely able to pressure and get to the quarterback in Gentry and Lucas. So, Preston, before we get started with the calls, what are your initial thoughts on what's going on here at USC?
Yeah, man. I mean, two gut punches yesterday. I think one of them we kind of expected, but just the confirmation on that with the Gentry information actually registered for the rest of the season. Losing Anthony Lucas is tough, right? You never want to see these guys get hurt, but maybe a blessing in disguise, right? Building for the future. And as well as that, I mean, there's talks out of practice. We see Cam Fountain out there, rocking his number 49. And one of the crown jewels of the 2023 recruiting class, in my opinion. And I'm super excited to see what this kid does and if he's able to get in there and make some things happen. So, yeah, I think that is something that is positive with the negative that we found out yesterday.
Yeah, there is a lot of negative news. There's a lot of losses on the table that we've seen. But I do think Trojans, we're better than this. We can actually we can have adult conversation about what is working in the program. And so that's what we're doing tonight. I'm looking for your calls. Number is always 888-997-4539, 888-99-RILEY. Give us a call. Let us know. What do you think? So this USC season can still be a success if. And we're only halfway through the season. And I will have to say this. One thing about the remainder of the schedule is it's going to get easier. I mean, I don't know how to say this. I don't play the games. I don't have to do coach speak. I'm going to tell you that the teams we have left on the schedule, we'll see how good Notre Dame is. I mean, their defense looks pretty damn tough. But we'll see what they look like. They're losing guys as well. So that game's pretty far off. But in the short run here, I think USC, again, is going to be a favorite in the remaining games. I think maybe even including that Notre Dame game, USC will be a favorite if we don't lose any more key players. But the phone line is open. I wish someone would call me and make sure that the phone line is working.
Yeah.
There we go. Speak of the devil. You see, you speak, Preston, and it happens. But yeah, before we get going, caller, hi, caller. Hold on 1 second for me. Before we get started, I want to start the show off with a big thank you again to guys that have been supporters that I've been messing up. I've been leaving out. Gil Martin, if you're out there somewhere, if you're watching this on record, thank you, man. You have always retweeted our stuff and promoted us. Really appreciate you. The Light the Torch guys, as always. Rusty over Arrogant Nation. Again, thank you so much. And Gabe, Trojan Blade, and this guy Preston, but he's right next to me, so I don't have to really thank him. Thank you guys all so much for supporting the show. Thank all of you guys for being here. We'll be on here for at least an hour, or as long as I can keep Preston here. Let us know, how is USC? So USC season, the fans are restless, but how can USC season still be a success? USC season can still become a success if Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up? This is Christian from Mission Viejo. How you doing?
Christian.
So,
Great to see you again. How you been?
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Trying to.
Good. Good. So what's up? So can I
The
start?
only way to do it.
What are your thoughts on this question? You know, USC season success if what? And you guys, before anyone says to me, it can't be a success because we're not going to the playoffs. Duly noted. We got that. Did they? Is it a successful meeting? Is this what they're gonna make all their goals? That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying we're in year 3 of Riley, right? Going towards building a program. It can still be successful if what?
Yeah. So the things that I'm taking from that, what would be successful for me is seeing the freshmen step up, seeing just player development step up on the players aspect. I mean, I understand the coaches are doing what they can to put players in the right position, get them coached up. But I mean, after the 2 losses on defense from Gentry and Anthony Lucas, I mean, I want to see Desmond Stevens step up. I want to see some of the defensive line step up. If we can see improvement from pretty much every player, especially the young guys, see some promise, I think that would be the biggest win. I mean, I'm not worried about getting a playoff spot. I'm not worried about a Big Ten championship. The losses, they're already there. Can't do anything about it. I want to see like good team morale and see just some improvement.
I knew I could count on you, Christian. Great answer. The development. They've been preaching going back to the spring, just teaching and development and developing players. And I agreed. Kind of going back to what Preston said. These injuries are horrible, and these young men worked hard. It's terrible to see them after the season. But Preston said, it's next man up, and they get to show, out what they have and what they developed. So, great points from both of you guys. Preston, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, I agree. I think we're going to see these guys are going to get great mid-season reps, like these young freshmen. Like, this is going to pay dividends for the future 100%. Super excited to get them in the mix. I mean, we don't have a choice, right? So get them in the mix and let's try to salvage the season. Let's try to hit 9 wins. There's a lot of positives going on. I mean, even national media understands that this team is not a bad team. You see David Pollock talking about it. You see Joe Klatt talking about it. Even being 3-3, I mean, these games on CBS that the entire country is seeing, we're right there. We're right there. They're entertaining. And, we did win the Wisconsin game, but the other games have been very entertaining, very good football games, very competitive football games. So it's a lot of positive stuff going on. I mean, people don't need to jump out the window, and Christian is exactly right.
Yep. Truly, Christian. Now, listen, Preston, I got to warn you. Christian comes loaded every time, man. I know. Okay. So listen, Christian, your name precedes you. You got something for us tonight? Chris, you there?
It's gone.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't hear you. It's just robotic.
Oh, wow. The return of the robot. That's happened a couple weeks ago. Can you hear me now? All right, Christian, if you have a question for us, give us that question. Uh-oh.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry. It's super. I can't understand anything you're saying. I'm trying to see if I can hear it through the TV real quick. I'm going to mute myself and see what you're saying. If not, I'll just end it and call right back.
Yeah, no, I do apologize. That's something on our end. Just really quickly, if you could, my question is I was telling Preston, you always have a question for us. So if you want to hit that question, we're all ears. We're ready to go. We'll give you a second.
Yeah. Sorry, I heard if you have a question for us, give us a question. I'll go for it, even though I can't hear you on my phone.
Okay.
So my question, I'm confident. We've had 3 losses and it's a combined 13 points. I mean, there's little things that can be done to make those changes. What are your thoughts after having 3 losses for a total 13 points? I mean, less than 2 scores for 3 losses.
Preston, what do you got?
I'm extremely optimistic, man. I mean, we're also shorthanded, right? We've been shorthanded. This team has been very different after the Wisconsin game, right? We lost a couple people. We got the Gentry incident, and we're still competing. Holding Penn State to 118 on the ground is an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? That we're not getting out physical. We're not getting bullied. And these are competitive games, man. People didn't expect us to even compete like this. None of these Big Ten people expected us to compete like this in this conference. Right. So, I mean, I think, how could you not be optimistic?
Yeah, I'm going to pretty much just go right along the same lines as Preston. Everyone says that Michigan was a run down our throats, and it looked like that in the first half. But, man, we shut them out in the second half. We heard that Penn State was going to out physical us and run the ball down our throats. We heard that their stud rush ends were going to come in and just destroy and mop up Miller Moss to get one sack. The offense is adapting to blocking in the Big Ten. So where no holds barred, literally. So I mean, I think that there's a lot of that development we were talking about earlier in the call. It's happening, and when people tell us that, hey, USC 3-3, go back to the Pac-12, but nobody, like you guys are saying, nobody's blowing SC out. We're in every game, and really, they're losing games with self-inflicted wounds. And again, playing, what is it? They have 8 officials in college football. So when you're playing 11 on 18, and I'm telling you, we have 2 very big question marks. The Minnesota game, I don't care if you guys want to call me a baby. Yes, he didn't lose that game. The play, there was no evidence. There was no there was no video evidence showing that ball crossed the line. Therefore, the play stands. It was a bullshit call. It's just as simple as that. So yeah, I'm good. I'm actually optimistic. I'm sad about the season. I thought we would. I am disappointed. I thought we would be a better team. I bought into the hype, but this team's progressing. This team's not going backwards. Great call, Christian. I don't know if you can hear us or not. Great call. And we will catch you next time. Appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
I don't think Christian has us. Fight on, man. Fight on, Christian.
Fight on.
Yeah, great call. He gave us a layup there. Usually he comes and really
makes
really just blows away with a great question. But I like that question. Again, it's on that note of positivity. Hey, caller. Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Mr. Paulie Walnuts from Los Angeles, my friend.
What's up, Paulie?
Good evening.
What's up?
It's always good to see both of your faces, man. I love it. Highlight of my week, like I always say.
Paulie, before you get on a roll,
yes, sir.
And I know you're gonna get on a roll, but before you get on a roll, I want you to finish the sentence for me because I'll forget. I'm gonna forget.
I was just gonna do that, Tim.
Okay, all right.
I was one step ahead of you, Tim.
No further delay. Go ahead, Solid.
The season is still a success.
All right. All right, Paulie. So what is it?
If the season is still a success if we continue to develop our young talent that we have. Not only is it going to improve recruiting for us, because all those recruits out there are saying, they're looking at our team now and they're saying, you know what, I can have a chance to develop and get playing time at the same time. But not only that, it'll be a success as well if we can start utilizing more of guys like Kyle Ford, the Jay Fairs, getting them more reps, and then also getting Makai Lemon more reps and snaps. I mean, so that's the keys to being more successful, in my opinion. And not only that, just let Lincoln do what he has to do. And I just, the fans need to just kind of just take it easy on him, man. But that's the key to success for me, the continued development of this young roster that we have. It's big time game experience. I look at us as right now as I compare us to Texas and Michigan back in the day when Sark was struggling and Harbaugh was struggling and people wanted their heads, man. And that's Riley went through a brutal week this week, but people need to realize, we're going about this the right way. And we called it last week. We called it, when we said Makai Lemon and Joyner, they were we pretty much put them out there saying they were going to have a huge game. And they did. Obviously, Joyner only played a few snaps, but everything's going to change, man. There's no doubt about it. And then it's time for, the young guys to step up. I think Desmond Stevens is a star in the making, and just his fluidity, how fluid he is after that interception, the way he was able to take it back. I mean, and his hands, those soft hands he had intercepting that ball. I just really see nothing but an upside in that young player. But then also too, I just the whole thing, man, with Oregon, everyone blowing Oregon up and ripping us apart. One thing I say to the SC fans that have been really negative is we went from being absolutely irrelevant, ripping our university to shreds. It's just been absolutely horrible. oh, no player development, no anything. Well, you know what, USC fans, and I got to be brutal on you guys right now and call you out. SC has 37 current players playing in the NFL right now, and Oregon has 35. So let's talk about development right there. That says it all, man. So I've had enough. I'm getting fired up. I'm going to make some killer spaghetti today. And you know what I'm going to do? I actually have won awards for my cheeseburgers, and I'm going to name one after you and Preston, man. I'm telling you.
Love it.
But anyway, guys, you fight on, man. I got nothing but love for you guys, man. Fight on. And you know what, Tim? If you ever need someone, if Preston can't come through, you call me and I'll be there for you, buddy.
You know I will.
Take care. Fight on, baby.
Fight on.
Fight on, Paulie. Oh, man.
That's great.
We got to get Paulie out on some cameos or something. That guy just makes me happy every time I hear him.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Great call as always. So, again, that's another person saying, look, you know, it's the writing's on the wall. Caller, hang on one second. But if the writing's on the wall, USC's team is getting better. If we can keep developing these young guys, Joel Klatt, when he was talking to Colin Cowherd, you know, recently, basically said, you know who this team reminds me of? He said, it reminds me of Texas a couple of years ago, losing close games, young offense, trying to get together, building those lines, building the trenches. If USC can continue to recruit like they're recruiting, develop the players they have on hand right now, I do think the future is bright. So again, the season can be successful if we can show these young guys get out there and show out what they've done with their development. I'm right there with Paulie and right there with Christian. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, caller. You there?
Hello?
Hi, caller. Can you hear me?
No, it's a bad signal. I'm sorry.
Call right back, okay?
Again.
We only have a couple calls. Just call right back. We'll get you back in here. That's 2 for 3. Yeah, this happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's just when it goes like a little, there's like something with the cell phones.
You want to give it a little break, or you're going to keep taking them?
Yeah, let's keep rolling. No, it's individual callers. It depends on like just like Paulie's line was totally fine. It's just it's random. It has to do with the I don't know if it's the phone service, like the cell phones calling in or what, but it's random. It's not everybody. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is I'm Dan calling from Los Angeles.
Hi, Dan. How you doing?
So, pretty good.
Well, really quick before you get on a roll. Before you get on a roll, I'm asking everyone. Before you get on a roll here, I'm asking everyone. USC season can still be a success if. How would you? You know, this is like the old match game. Much you get are way too young, but you know we're gonna blank, right? So USC season is a success if what? What do you need to see from USC for the season to still be a success? And again, I know I get it. No, don't say that they make the playoffs. Well, I think that's pretty much the done deal. But what can we do to still make the season successful?
I would say win the rest of the games, and win the rest of the games, and no more close games. I mean, unless it's Notre Dame, because you know they play them tough. But the rest of the schedule, no more nail biters. Win the games outright, and give the young guys some time. Like give Jaden Mayaba. Let's put up enough points on the scoreboard so he can get some time. He's obviously gonna, because he's gonna be the future. Well, I mean, I don't know, but he is pretty good. The guy was a freshman last year, and everyone keeps talking about his 10 interceptions, but he was only a true freshman. But I don't see Lincoln Riley playing a true freshman, even a 5-star, over him next year, because Lincoln Riley likes experience. So I just want us to win the rest of the games, it'll be a success, and get him some time to get him ready for fall camp. And just in case something happens to Miller, I want him. Let's blow some teams out to get that man some time, so we have someone to step in. But win the rest of our games.
Yeah, it's been a weird thing about USC for a number of years, Preston, where even though it seems like USC often has a far better team in many cases, they've played down to their competition and allowed teams to hang around, stay in games, and like Dan's saying, not giving the backup quarterbacks, not letting backup players get that real game time experience.
Yeah, that would be very valuable for him, especially for next year and going into the next offseason. Just get game reps in the system and see different situations play out like that. That would be great. Like I hope we're able to break some games open. This is the softer side of the schedule. I'm assuming that's what it looks like. It's a Big Ten. Anything can happen. But yeah, that'd be fantastic. I hope we're able to do that. Yeah,
Mayaba's got a great future. The only problem is he's got Miller in front of him, who's just playing out of his mind. Otherwise, I'm sure we would see Jaden Miami get out there. I also want to see him get some real time reps. We saw a little bit of mop up duty, against Utah State, but I wouldn't mind seeing him against some better competition so he gets those real time reps that he's going to need, God forbid, in case Miller did go down. Great point, Dan. Anything else for us?
Yeah, I mean, we guess we underestimated because I was really high on USC, but I didn't expect their depth to get tested this early, and I expected our offensive line coach to have these guys a little bit better prepared to be this far into the season. And I know Lincoln Riley is loyal to these guys, but after this year, I'm sure he's going to be on the super hot seat because, I mean, we can't have this. These guys are. I just feel that these offensive linemen are too talented for this to be happening to them. I know they're young, but I think with some good offensive line coaching, they could be serviceable. Kind of like our defensive line, how we went from, bad to good. Even our defensive line is being tested. These guys are still young. We don't have the depth, but D'Anton Lynn, he's doing a hell of a job because guys are going down, and we're still not getting blown out. If we had our last defensive coordinator, man, it'd be over. Our season would be done. We probably have 50 points on us every game, but D'Anton Lynn is keeping us in the game. They're giving up points, but they're not giving up 40 and 50, and we just need depth. That's all. And,
sure.
I think Henson needs to be questioned in the offseason. I mean, these guys are better than what's being shown on the field. I know they are.
So did you notice an improved? Well, we've seen better play out of Alani Noah. I mean, if you look at his PFF numbers, both games he's improved. And are you not entertained? I mean, so you had a situation where Penn State was supposed to run, and absolutely we thought, and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them. I was worried about Miller making it through this game. Were you impressed how the offensive played against Penn State, the offensive line? And then, by the way, I want to add in there, they rushed for about 200 yards, and at the end of the game, they kind of gave some of it back. But I mean, I bet you at one point they had 196 yards, and I bet you sack adjusted, it was probably over 200 at that point. However, it just seemed like they went backwards on a couple of plays late in the game, but they still ended up with a very respectable 188 yards, I think, on the game. And again, giving up one sack. What are your thoughts on that? If we're going to get all over Henson, are we going to give Henson some credit for that at least?
I guess, yeah, a little bit, but I'll say that Lincoln Riley talked about all week how they're going to try and add extra tackles, add extra tight ends to help out. And
they did. They had a tight end helping Mason Murphy most of the game. Yeah.
I mean, it happened against Minnesota. I mean, I don't know. I just think they should be, they should be better. Man. I mean, they
Agreed.
did really well against Penn State. Yeah. But I just think they should be about 6-7 games this season. This is when they should be taking form, like seeing like, okay, these, you see some dominance coming. I mean, we have seen individual performance, but
no, Dan. I mean, I'm not criticizing you.
I'm not saying they should get rid of him this year, but after next year, if they look like this next year, then it's going to be a problem.
Sure, that would be year 4.
But next season, if they still look like this,
yeah, I think Dan. I think you're. I think
there will be a problem if they look like this.
Yeah, Dan, I think you're onto something. I mean, that 3 years. I was kind of saying this is the year. I think you need to see some improvement this year, and we are. I mean, remember, you have Alani Noah, whose last 2 games is improving. He's only a redshirt freshman. He missed most of the season last year, and we found out, that he has both of his parents passed away. I mean, the kid had a rough. I mean, I can't imagine one of my parents, especially being that young and have that much tragedy in your life is, that's rough for a young man. And he comes back and so he didn't have a whole lot of experience coming into the season. And then you had Elijah come in and start in that bowl game after getting sent down and putting on the practice squad halfway through the season, comes back, has a great bowl game. He's been struggling early, but again, I'm not making excuses, but there aren't many redshirt freshmen out there, the teams that we're playing, trotting out redshirt freshmen. It just doesn't happen very often. And so the fact that these guys are getting better, I guess really is a testament to the development of the players. So yes, is this the offensive line where I think it should be? No, I mean, I think they should have picked someone up in the portal. We can play the ifs and what's games all we want, but we are seeing development. So if we're going to get on Henson, like I kind of did earlier in the season after being let down, I was really high and really excited about this offensive line. Then it just disappeared quickly. We still, then if he is improving and the players are showing improvement, we kind of have to give him credit for that as well. Right?
Right.
Okay.
No, right. And then also, it's not just an offensive line. All receivers need to stop. I just feel like USC as a team needs to stop beating themselves. So the receivers dropping timely catches that they should catch, that we all know about the flags. But then if some of these catches were made, we wouldn't have to worry about the flags. So all these 3-point losses, I see the coaches on the sideline, they look like they're already lost. And then USC gives the game up like, oh, we won. I know James Franklin probably thought the game was over when Moss was going out of the field until that interception. So it's like we're giving these games away. It's not like we're losing them. We're just like we're handing these teams these wins at the end. And that's what's the problem. Like, man, we could be undefeated right now.
I'm saving mine. I'm saving mine, Dan. I'm saving my optimism for the end of the show, and I'm explaining to you how USC's season is successful if, and I'm going to explain that, and you're kind of really close to what my answer is going to be, but I kind of want you guys to have your go at it first, and it has something to do with what Lincoln Riley actually said after practice in one of the press scrums. So great call, Dan. Love you calling in. Appreciate you calling.
Recruits, so that's all that matters. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
They're
you.
bringing them in. Fight on, man. Thank you. Good week for recruiting, you guys. I mean, it was a bad week for injuries, but a very good week in recruiting, Preston.
For sure.
So I agree with Gabe here. Elijah's struggles this year will pay off when he's a junior, no doubt.
100%.
He'll be a star. You gotta kind of get those battle wounds. You got to get those scars built up. He's getting those reps in. The kid absolutely has the frame and the feet. And if you see our guys, I was talking to Gabe. Actually, Gabe was bringing this up. You watch these guys, these young guys, when they get out moving on these, these guards, they're pulling the guard, pulling the tackle. Those guys
love to see it.
They're so athletic. They're huge, but they're so athletic. And Riley loves to pull those guards, those tackles.
Hey man,
so,
outside zone them to death. Get out there, pull them out. Let's go to the races every time.
So we'll see. I mean, again, this is going to pay dividends. Sometimes you got to pay a little bit. I know this number absolutely. I'm not going to have him. I'm going to introduce him. Gary from Dana Point. Thank you so much for calling in. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. It's great to catch you guys tonight. If you want to know what I will be happy with, I would be happy now with us winning the games we're supposed to win, and then crowning our season by knocking the stuffings out of UCLA and Notre Dame. And then after that, I'd like to see us go to a bowl game and play. Now, my comment is, I don't know if it's true or not. They say Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times to invent a successful light bulb. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of effort. And if I was Lincoln Riley, here's what I would do. Because I keep telling, when I was coaching, I'd say, and you've heard this a million times, do the little things well and the big things come. I would constantly preach that to my teams. And if I was Lincoln Riley, I would sit down with a little yellow pad, and I'd first start with myself and say, what do I need to do better? I would take a look at my defensive, all my coaches, say, what do they need to do better? And I'd ask each of my coaches and myself to talk to the top 40 players or so who are going to do most of the playing. And I'd individually sit down and say, here's what you need to do to get better. And I would break it down to something simple. I wouldn't say, hey, you got 10 things you got to do. No, you do this one thing. And you, as a coach, you just do this one thing. As a player, just do this one thing. And then as Lincoln Riley, I would ask myself, how can I manage this team better? And one thing that comes to mind with Lincoln Riley, I think he could do a lot better job with clock management. But so I would just focus on the little things and let that happen, and big things will come. There's nothing smart about what I'm saying, but sometimes we get too smart to do the basic things. You know, you're looking way up at the skyscraper instead of saying, look, I got a brick here to lay. It's right here in front of my feet. So I start laying some more bricks. And I'm not saying they're not doing that. And I challenge every player to get better at one thing. And I think that's momentum. You know, I guess I tell my grandson every day at practice, I say, do one thing better. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do? So again, I'm not being profound here, but that's what I do to try to continue to turn the season around. This is not a bad season. We got some bad breaks, We fell off the wagon in Minnesota. We got robbed in Michigan. We got robbed in Penn State. But you know what? We can't control that. What we can do is say, hey, listen, this brick in front of me, I'm going to lay it right now. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I like it. You know what, that thing about the 10,000, what always sticks with me is they asked Edison, I mean, don't you feel like a failure? You've tried 10,000 times and you've done it. He says, you know, he's all, I'm not a failure. He says, I know 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. So that's where you learn from your mistakes. You know, you learn from your mistakes that way. You have these situations where you're going to have to go through this process. This team's going to have to learn to win. I was talking about that. I want this team to learn to win. And I still believe it. They have winners on this team. They have guys like Matt Entz, who's won that, has gone and won championships. You have the guys on and in place that can build this winning. You have Lincoln Riley, who's been to the playoffs. It's not like that they don't know how to build these cultures. I think they need to get the players in process. I think I was completely over my skis about the offensive line. I thought we were going to be fine on the line. I did say that we were going to have injuries this year. I said 9-3. I said 2 early losses. I was wrong about LSU. I was unfortunately right about Michigan. I did not see the loss to. I did not see the loss to Minnesota. Yeah. That Minnesota loss. Did you tell me we have Eric Gentry in that game? And I know everyone out there. I know the injuries are part of the game, but they stole that game from us. If Eric's in that game, I doubt there'd be problems. If we had Jacoby Covington against Penn State, you guys, I don't think they pick up 2 4th downs. I just don't think they do. So I'll leave that there. I don't want to make excuses, and that brings me to the point what Lincoln Riley said this week. He basically said, the problem is at the end of these games, these guys are trying too much, trying too hard to make that big play. He's all we want them to do is go out there and do their job. Just go out and do your job. You can go do your job. Just go out and do it. And if these guys settle in, they learn how to win. They get that culture going. They get that confidence going. I know that the development's there, and sky's the limit, Preston.
Yeah, and Gary is exactly right? Like the self-scouting, which is essentially what he's saying, like that's something usually done in the bye weeks. I'm spot on with that. And you got to sweat the small stuff. Like key in, be honest, and everybody's got to sweat the small stuff because we're losing off of the small stuff. That catch that Warren made over Zion Branch, he caught it off the back of the guy's helmet, man. That was an unbelievable catch. Like all these little plays, like fit in the right gap. In the Michigan game, obviously we know what happened at Minnesota. I can't speak on that, but the little things, we are so close to winning that it is, it's not coach speak this year. Last year, Lincoln came out and he said, we're a play away from this, we're a play away from that. That was coach speak. Now everybody in the country truly sees that we're a good team.
Yeah, I'm completely with you, Gary. Anything else for us tonight? Great point. Great points.
Yep.
No, I just was going to say, I wonder what Thomas Edison thought after effort 9,999. That guy didn't give up. And so, we are really close. And I'm very optimistic. We're very close. And so I think if we make some adjustments here, we're going to be fine. But anyway, no, nothing else. Thank you for being there, you guys, always providing perspective and a better way of thinking, and I appreciate it. So fight on, boys.
Fight on.
Fight on.
Yeah, we're not trying to pretend there's no problems here, but we got to look at the positive. I remember in 2001, SC wasn't winning, folks. Pete Carroll's first year, he was dealing with a lot of what Lincoln Riley's dealing with right now. I mean, I think he had some guys like Troy Polamalu, and his first year there were Carson Palmer. There were some pieces there. But what I will say is what we saw from the Paul Hackett transition in 2000 to 2001 is the team looked different, especially on defense. And if anyone out there in the audience, whether you're a Trojan or if you're a Nittany Lion, if you're a Bruin, if you're even an Oklahoma Sooner, you look at this defense, you tell me you don't see a distinct difference and you see a team that's getting closer. USC has been a play. I know no one wants to hear this, but USC has had a chance to win. You had an opportunity in Michigan to salt that one away. Just take care of the ball, get a first down, and probably even with the big run, they probably don't have time to score. With Penn State, you had an opportunity to move the ball, with the offense and get some first downs and salt that one away. The defense had 2 chances on fourth down to end that game. USC is right there. They just need, like Lincoln Riley said, don't try to make the big play. Just do your job. And the odds are with you. One of these games is going to fall USC's way. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Brian from Monrovia, California.
What's up, Brian? Listen, I'm asking everybody tonight, so just give it to me. Again, please don't say playoffs.
Yes, sir.
USC's season can still be successful if. What do you got for me?
Yes, sir. So a couple guys hit on a couple of these already, but I would like to see us win all the games that we should win, that we had all collectively probably agree that we should win those games. No bad losses, no embarrassment. And then beat Notre Dame and UCLA. We need to show that the O-line is continuing to get better and has fixed their issues as we progress the rest of the season. I would like to see the coaches continue to show proof of their concept and display discipline and toughness, and not to get out coached by other teams. Again, no embarrassment. Also, I'd like to see Coach Lincoln show some better clock management, get better at that. No more disasters in that area, and maybe even show a good game of clock management where he out coaches the other coaches. And then lastly, I would love to see some kind of words out of the coach's mouth, out of the program's mouth, that they're going to go all in on recruiting this year in the NIL and go after those big time O-line, D-line talent players. That's it.
Right, true. But sorry, caller. I want to honor your call real quick, but I have to get to this one. No, Michigan couldn't move the ball. I'm not sure most of you remember, but you guys couldn't even pick up a first down. You guys weren't play here, play right. You guys were running mad wild in the first half because Lynn didn't have any film on what you guys do with Orgy. But after one half of that, he shut that thing down. And if a guys make a tackle, Moose, and you know this is true, if one of those 2 guys make a tackle, we're talking a whole different game right now. So no, I'm not too sure I could agree with you that Michigan had a chance the whole second half. They couldn't do anything the whole second half, to be honest.
Truth.
So I can't agree with that one. Preston, thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think this team doesn't show me any signs of any type of embarrassment or anything. Like they play extremely hard. They fight. I have not seen this in the past 2 years with these Lincoln Riley USC teams. I'm just super proud of them, man. They compete in every game. Everything is winnable. Everything's on the table for us, and we just gotta do our job. And if we do our job and don't hurt ourselves, like we can win games in this conference, no problem.
And I didn't agree with it when it happened, Preston.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Carl. What was your name again?
Brian.
Brian, sorry, I got to start writing this stuff. Sometimes I forget to write it down. Brian, you talked about clock management, and I said it right away. It was sort of jumping and going crazy. They execute that play, a play that Miller probably makes in his sleep, blindfolded that throw. It wasn't like they were taking Deuce down right away. He was to pick up maybe 5, 6, 7 yards, get down, and then they had a timeout still, I believe. I mean, they had the ability to execute that play. It was literally excellent clocks management. I said at the time, I still stand by it. Can you try to persuade me otherwise? Why do we keep hearing this thing about clock management in that at the end of that game?
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily just that game or not.
Okay.
But the perception, at least from the wider majority of fans out there seem to be talking about that area that needs to get improved. I think going back to also the Minnesota game as well.
I mean, I would need some concrete examples because, again, Preston, if you want to correct me as well.
I'll be honest. I didn't like it. I still don't like it, and I've doubled down on it. I made the video the other day. I doubled down on it.
What part did you like?
I didn't like how you're not being aggressive. Just be aggressive. Like, let's be tactical here. Why are we only just saying, oh, okay, let's get one shot, and then I believe in the guy's leg? Like, I don't like playing defensive like that when you're on offense. I think the defense has shown that they could get stops. I mean, granted, I understand that they had just gone down the field and scored on us as well. But I don't know, just my personal opinion. I didn't like that. I didn't like that letting that time run off the clock.
One thing people are forgetting,
and it didn't work. It didn't work. That's where I.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Right. If it works, it's a genius, and everyone's excited. It didn't work, so everyone's like, okay, wait a minute. I see what he's doing, though. I mean, the point, you can see what the man's doing. What he's doing is he doesn't leave any time on that clock, because for two reasons. One, they could not stop the offense, and late in that game, the Penn State was moving the ball, and they don't have to get a touchdown. They just have to get in field goal range. So if you have a situation where you leave a bunch of time on that clock, and we're talking about Penn State's defense here, you guys, we had a pretty good game offensively against them. A lot of people don't do, but it's not like they can't rise up, get a sack, right? Call a timeout, strips. A lot of stuff can happen in that game. Yeah. You really, I think it worked out, and if it, sorry, it didn't work out, and if it had worked out, people would not have been so angry. But it was literally set up to be a perfect ending for SC. SC gets a field goal like they did in the 2017 Rose Bowl, and a walk-off, field goal to win the game. It was all set up. It just wasn't meant to be. I don't know. I can't hate on it. Really quickly, sorry, I hate to keep doing this, but there's just something about being so factually off. I don't pay too much attention to the chat, and I'm not going to let it become a troll situation. But I think, Moose, you need to go and watch the second half, because by definition, second half would be 2 of the 4 quarters. You guys didn't do crap in the second half until you busted off that 65-yard run. I don't know where. Is there 5 quarters? Is there a 5th quarter, you guys, that I don't know about that Michigan did? You guys did great in the first half, and really towards the end of the half, I don't know, but no, you guys did really literally nothing in that second half. It was a tale of 2 halves. It was a great game. Michigan came out on the winning side of it, but I'm not going to listen to you try to tell me that somehow they. Not only were they playing better, but they were dominating for 3 quarters.
Nobody was getting dominated in Ann Arbor. I was in the stands. Nobody was getting dominated.
And I was on the field. So not on the field, but I was down on the field. Yeah. So no, there was no domination either way, except for the defense against the offense of Michigan in the second half. USC absolutely dominated until they missed that tackle, and then the rest is history. All right. Sorry, we can move on. Brian, anything else for us?
No, that was it, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. I love the calls, guys. I think that let me double check. Oh, shoot. Wow. No, we're backing up. Okay. Never mind. We will be here a little bit longer, Preston.
No, you're good, man.
All right. Appreciate the calls, you guys. I know you guys have plenty of people out there. The USC content in this space is just insane. I mean, I say it all the time. I had the press telegram and maybe 5 minutes on the radio. Now you got hours. You can go check out Preston's channel. Preston, go ahead and let them know about your channel, please.
Yeah, man. Preston's Paradise on YouTube, making USC content videos, all types of stuff. Just covering the program and making some creative stuff. So yeah, you can check me out over there.
And I'm really proud to announce also that I'm going to be working over with Ryan Dyrud over at UCFB over at his channel. It's going to be, I'm doing lots of the photography for him, and I'm also going to be writing over there. So you guys, if you want, you can go check me out over there. LAFB has been around for a couple of years. They cover the Rams, the Chargers, the Bruins, and the Trojans. I'll be writing on their Bruin site. Their Trojan site. Sorry, guys. That would be really weird to see me on a Bruin site. I'll be writing on their Trojan site. So go check out my work over there. And you might catch me on some of their videos. So keep an eye out. They also have a YouTube channel. So make sure you're checking all of our stuff out over there. Hi, caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
You guys doing?
Good. Sorry, I missed your name. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Matthew, and I'm calling from Riverside.
Matthew from Riverside. Hey, man. So listen, I'm throwing everyone out there. USC's season can still be a success if.
Okay, number one, we're 3-3. So it's mandatory that we win the next game. We cannot go below 500. So that's the start. The next game is mandatory. It is a must win. And then next, it's, again, how do we finish this season? Do we continue to see progress throughout the season? We have a lot of injuries right now. Things can happen. I just want to see progress. And before the beginning of the season, I was not one of these guys saying, football playoffs. I knew it was a rebuilding year. I was very realistic about this year, and I told all my friends, I wanted to see us win 9 games. So if we can win that 8 and 9 games, myself personally, it's a successful season. The defense has improved. Think about it. Last year, our defense was giving up almost 40 points a game. Right now, we're giving up, 21, 22 points a game? That's a huge improvement. We're seeing it.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing it. Now, next, I want to say I was at the Penn State game. All right. I have a complaint I've got to say right now. I was at the Penn State game, and I happened to be sitting by some Penn State fans. And at the start of the game, I swear to you, I thought it was 50-50 SC Penn State over there.
Yeah.
You know, SC fans for big games have got to show up at the Coliseum. Please show up at the beginning of the games. It's too embarrassing. All right. By the end of the game, you can see the Coliseum was filled and it was rocking and rolling, and SC was dominant. The fans were dominating. But that first quarter was horrible. So please, all USC fans, if you're a real fan, show up at the game on time. You know, show some respect to the team. All right. There's a point I want to bring out right now about I'm so happy to see reality kicking in right now for all the USC fans, and they recognize we have a good team. After the Penn State loss, all the SC fans were crying, get rid of Riley. I'm hearing SC fans saying our defense is terrible and just ridiculous nonsense. And they were just speaking from emotion. But right now, everybody realizes, no, we do have a good football team, you know, and we've just had some bad luck this year. And I want to make a statement that I started to realize, and I've really come to realize right now. When we got Lincoln Riley, we have to remember Lincoln Riley is a very young coach. He's still in his early 40s. Lincoln Riley came to us. He was not a finished product. In fact, Lincoln Riley was still really growing as a coach. When he came over to SC, I'm really realizing this. That, you know, he was successful at Oklahoma, so he obviously had an ego. We all know successful coaches have an ego. He came to ego. He got a lot of money to come over here. And he's successful his first year. He wins 11 games. That ego's even bigger. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he's in control. And I really think that last season was an important season for Lincoln Riley and for USC because he crashed and burned. And he suddenly realized he didn't know it all. He thought he could win with Alex Grinch. He thought he could do it, and he learned, no, he can't. And he learned he needs help. There's things that he changes that he needed to make in his own personal coaching philosophy. And if he had not done anything about it, then we could say he's an idiot. But you know what? We saw him recognize and do the changes that were needed.
And grow.
So we're watching him grow a good coach, and we're seeing him progress now. So this year was a real rebuilding year. You know, he's putting in new coaching philosophy, defense first, making adjustments. All right. And I'm so happy you've all been bringing up oh my God, I can't believe our coach from 2001. I can't think of his name right now.
2000 Hackett?
Our coach.
Or Pete Carroll?
Yeah. No,
2001?
Pete Carroll, sorry. I couldn't think of Pete Carroll. Right. Pete Carroll was 6-6 his first year.
Yep.
And people were unhappy. Everybody remember, people were really unhappy with him. Nobody wanted Pete Carroll when he got over here. The season 2, do you remember when he started off season 2? He was 2-2. And then all of a sudden
Kansas
he just
State,
took off. All right. Exactly. All right. So we're kind of in that phase with Lincoln Riley. Things are coming together. We're close. He's been saying the season we're just a few plays away, and the reality is he was. We are. We're close. We're right there. We're at that cusp, and we just got to get it. If we get a couple big wins, this team could just suddenly take off and finish. I wouldn't be surprised if we really ended the season strong. I'm talking 6-game winning streak and a huge dominant win over Notre Dame. You know, we are really at that kind of cusp right now. So we need a little patience, have the faith, and everybody needs to fight on. And that's my take for today.
Matthew, great call. Absolutely great call. I'm not calling Lincoln Riley Pete Carroll. I'm not going to call him John McKay either. But both those guys came on. McKay was coming after sanctions in the 1950s. He had a couple losing seasons. Thought he was going to get fired, and then they turned around in 62. Exactly. But he had an empty cupboard because they're coming off of sanctions. There was no one there. Then you had Pete Carroll come after Paul Hackett, and while the talent was there, it wasn't to the level that it had been when USC is being successful. And he quickly built it up. And I hate to say this, he was 6-6 in the regular season, but I remember this before they joined the Pac-10. What the heck's a Ute, right? We lost to Utah, so they actually finished 6-7, which was a losing season. Pete Carroll's first season was a losing season. I'm gonna say, I'm not, again, before anyone in the chat is not listening to what I'm saying, I'm not saying that Lincoln Riley's the next Pete Carroll. He's the next John McKay. Those don't come, don't fall off trees, right? But what I am saying is it does take time. Well, but you have the NIL and you have the transfer portal. Our NIL was not up to snuff. It's getting there. If not there, it's getting very close. But when he first got here, it wasn't. Facilities are woefully behind, and our roster was not where it needed to be. USC and everyone, all of our fans are passionate. There were people yelling at Riley after the game. We can get on them and say, hey, you shouldn't be yelling at the coach. But that's that same passion that when we're winning, they're the loudest guys in the Coliseum. They're not sitting on their hands. Do I agree with yelling at players or coaches? No, I don't. But those are also the same guys that when we're winning, they're the ones up yelling. They're the ones yelling on those crucial third downs. So I'm not ever get mad at someone's passion. I don't even think Riley or the players really step back and think about it or get too pissed off about it. I wish some people would kind of pull it back a little bit, but I understand why fans are pissed off. Everyone was excited. Lincoln kind of brought on himself. He said this is gonna be the Mecca. Now he didn't say, from the back. He says, I want this to be the Mecca. People twist that around. He's building towards that.
Right.
But he has to own this. I mean, I think he would be the first one. I don't speak for him. I don't even know this, but I think he does know there were mistakes made. But I like the fact that he got humbled last year, because that's what led to D'Anton Lynn. That led to him saying everything's going to be defense from now on. Right, Preston?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely growth, man. I couldn't agree with him more.
But listen, great call, Matthew. We got calls.
Also, we need to remember Sark and Kiffin. They had to grow too, and we see what they're doing right now too.
And again, Klatt knows football, and he says, I agree. And he compared the situation here to the situation in Texas. Also, all of you Michigan fans in the crowd, you guys remember, didn't you guys have your coach restructure his salary before you guys got that national championship? So again, fans, I get it. Be pissed off. We were expecting a lot more this year, but at the end of the day, the eyeball test, they're passing it. This team is getting better. And I do believe that they're very close. No one wants to hear that. I get it. Nobody wants to hear we're close. No one wants to hear we're a couple plays away, but that's the reality. You either get pissed off and realize that, or you can just sit there and scream at the TV. Either one. I prefer the prior, not the latter. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And also, if you could start out for me, I've been asking this to everybody. So USC season can still be successful if what?
Well, my name's Chris. I'm calling from Pennsylvania. I actually was the guy that called you last Friday, right when your show ended, and you're running out in your driveway to see the Bosco game. But I don't know the program inside and out like you, but I think what you guys need to do is just stay mentally tough. I mean, I know these are some crushing losses you guys had with really close games, but I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. You're right there. I mean, you're right on the cusp. A few plays here or there, and you're undefeated, or at worst, one loss. And as a Penn State fan, I just wanted to say mad respect to a great game. I mean, I wouldn't want to hear this stuff as a Penn State fan going through this stuff, but your O-line played way better than we expected. Your defense, look at where they're at this year compared to last year and the year before. You guys are right there. I mean, I don't know what it is. There's a lot of teams that are blue blood type teams that are mid-level teams that are trying to get over the hump: Florida, Auburn, A&M, Miami, and it's tough. But you guys are right there. I think you guys have as good a chance as any. And I'm hitting the Trojans up big time this week, -7 versus Maryland. But I just wanted to say mad respect to a great game. And I know it's tough to hear, but you guys are played a lot better than what I thought, especially on the offensive line.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. We've had two Penn State fans. I'm assuming, obviously, you're a Penn State fan. You said that. We're 2 for 2 on Penn State fans, man. And I have a lot of respect for you guys as well. You guys played a great game. We knew that. I was pleasantly shocked, like you said, about the offensive line. I know you guys have a great defense, and I also thought we'd have a harder time running the ball on you guys. And I was really happy to see our offensive line not only pass protect but also get out there and do what I think they do. I think this is really a run blocking team. I mean, I think these guys were built to run block. I mean, these are road graders. I knew they were nasty guys. I've been talking to them for a couple of years now, but they're getting out there moving. And Emmanuel Pregnon, no one's talking about him because he's doing his damn job. Emmanuel Pregnon, if anyone knows Emmanuel Pregnon or Pregnon somehow gets word of this somewhere, man, thank you, because that dude's been the anchor of this line, playing out of his mind. And, all the guys. I know we've been down on offensive
center
line.
that you guys are talking about?
No, he's our left guard. And
okay. I know you had an interior lineman. Somebody was talking about one of the tackle with Navy. That was like one of your best linemen, but
that's Jonah Monheim.
Yeah, like I said. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, you guys, and you shut our run down. Like, I mean, for the most part, I mean, Nick Singleton was still a little banged up from a few games ago, but you guys did an incredible job. I mean, I thought it was going to be a tough game, not quite this tough. And, but that's why they played the game. Certainly didn't how I thought it was going to go. But, I mean, you guys you're right there. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard. A lot of teams just get over that hump. But I think you guys got as good a chance as any.
Appreciate
I just want to say in respect to you guys. And I don't know if you remember speaking to me on Friday.
I do.
I didn't realize your show ended. But, yeah. So
I enjoyed it.
Me. I'm the Penn State guy in the chat. I like tuning into your show sometimes. So I'll let you go. I just wanted to say good luck to you guys in the future. It was a great game.
Thanks, man.
Excellent. Again, you represent your program well. Appreciate you calling in, and thank you for giving that conversation up to 6:05 on the way to the Bosco game. Really appreciate it. Take care, man.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
No, that's great. I appreciate it. Catch you later. Great call. I mean, it's Penn State, man. You guys, fan bases out there. You guys had it's be a hard time for you guys to beat the class of Penn State. We've been getting a lot of great State calls. It's nothing new. I remember that the both Rose Bowls and now this game. It's hard to find a bad Penn State fan. Oh, just go to Twitter though. You'll find a couple. Hi, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey Tim, what's going on?
Hello,
Tim.
Yes, hi.
Hey, it's Caden the man. How are you, sir?
Caden. So here we go. 0-2 in the count, buddy. Okay. What do you got to be for the? So it's 0-2, but you're up in the box. You're ready to go. What do you got for me about the Trojans tonight?
Okay, now,
Make sure you choke up, Caden. Choke up. 2 strikes on you.
Okay, first of all, Tim, can I please just say 2 things before I give my 2 cents on Southern Cal? There's just 2 things I need to get off my chest.
It's 0-2. I just say, if you feel you've got the bat speed, go for it.
Yes, we lost to Oregon. And second of all, Tim, I would like to personally apologize for the remarks I made to you about you last week on my YouTube channel. I would like to apologize personally.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Caden, here comes the pitch. Here's the windup. You got to give me some USC or else it's time for the pine.
I'm going to give you USC. That's
right.
what I was going to get.
Let's go.
But I just wanted to personally apologize.
Appreciate that.
So my thing is that USC for me, I just wish they would bring it more on defense and they would just at least bring more physicality on their defensive side of the ball.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't. Sorry.
What are we doing? Like
3 times. I don't even think you watch the games, Caden. I'm sorry. I apologize to the callers. Listen, Caden has had a hard time getting in the mindset.
I got a bone to pick with Desmond Howard as well. He sees the same physicality conversations. Anybody that says that nowadays is just they're ignorant on USC football. And Desmond Howard said it. It pains me that he said it, but I got to scratch him off.
There has not been one single game, Preston, this year where USC was out physicaled.
Not one.
Not one.
No, yeah, you can go in.
So, hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Tim, it's Will. What's going on, guys?
Well, Will ND. You guys make sure you check it out. Will's channel. He also does. Go ahead and plug your channel real quick.
Well, yeah, it's Will ND. I'm going to try to get some solo stuff in now. Me and Jeffrey's work schedules have been clashing a bit, so we haven't been able to do our show. But I'm going to try to do some solo Irish content and maybe other stuff too.
Yeah, make sure you guys go check out Will. He absolutely knows his Irish and knows college football. I mean, at his age, I was barely figuring out what what the roster at USC was. He knows the roster at USC back in 1975 before he was even born. What's on your mind tonight, Will?
Tim, like, you guys are close. Like, I'm gonna be like, watching that Penn State game. I'm like, like, I just don't understand like why Riley is like. I mean, I feel like he's a great offensive mind, but I don't know if we're thinking it and stuff. Like, I know he didn't like to run the ball, but running the ball was working, and then throwing it up to Branch. Like, Branch is a great athlete. I don't know how he's not getting separation, but like throwing it up isn't going to work. Like, do you think that Riley's going to make the tweaks?
Preston, I'll throw it to you, and I'll come back on this. And I agree. I don't want to see any more 50-50 balls to Branch, which led to the interception. What game was that? Was that the Wisconsin game, I think? And then the fade route is, I mean, this is a guy, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is the situation with Zachariah Branch and the looks he's getting. I mean, it seems to me like it was great though on that fake. I mean, on the end around that was awesome. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. That's the $1 million question. I will say this as a next to the number one thing I will never do is question Riley on when it comes to selecting a quarterback. I'm not doing that. And the next thing I'm going to say is I'm not going to pretend like I know more about play calling than Lincoln Riley, nor am I going to say that I know about the offense better than Miller Moss. But it's just a complete head scratcher to me and many people in this space how Branch is being used. I mean, those little shallow crossers, excellent. Let's do those. The mesh plays, let's do all day long. Get him the ball in space, let him get magic. That's what we want to see. But Preston, what is going on? Why can't we get this guy loose?
Yeah, I've been brainstorming, right? And I went back to last year. I was like, okay, he missed a couple games early last season. Maybe there was like we don't talk about injuries, so maybe something happened there. But against LSU, he looked good. He looked fast, and he's having issues separating. And then also something I also talked about is like we haven't seen the Miller-Zach Branch connection really flourish at all. It's been non-existent, right? They haven't been able to connect on any touchdowns. There's been some drops. There's been some missed timing, some missed throws by Miller at times as well. So it's hard, man. I don't know. I mean, I have faith in Lincoln Riley, the play caller, and as a schemer, but we're just really not able to get it done. I mean, the decoy stuff is great ideas, great way to use them, but I want to see Zach Branch in the end zone. I mean, we're about to be 7 games into the season, and Zach Branch hasn't get on the end zone. Yeah, we got to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, Will, we're confused as well.
Yeah.
We're really not too sure about that ourselves. Looks like the Irish are having some injury issues. Can you get to the Trojan fans just an update on your offense and defense? Because we're getting hit pretty hard as well. Who have you lost for the season so far this year? Will, you there?
All right. Well,
I'm kind of breaking up, but I mean, y'all are going to get a wounded Irish team at the end of the season, but they're battling. They played their best game against Stanford, and yeah, just hoping that USC. I mean, I feel like y'all can run the table. That game at Husky Stadium will be difficult, and the game, of course, against the Irish will be good. But I think the Trojans can. There's a strong chance the Trojans could win out and take that momentum into next season. So yeah, good luck, and thanks for taking my call, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, injuries are part of football. It's hard to hear. Will, appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. All right. Hi, caller. Really quickly, hang on one second. Thank you guys all for being here. Preston, what is it Fight on Preston? Is that your Twitter handle?
Fight on Preston is my Twitter. Yep. Okay,
so we got well over 300 people here on Twitter. You guys go in and check out Fight on Preston. Give him a follow. I'm at Tim_Prangley on Twitter and on Instagram. Please give me a follow if you could. And then you guys that are here, if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm trying to talk Preston into it, but we might pop up just randomly. I mean, I almost did it when we got the news yesterday, just losing Luke at the double whammy, the 1-2 punch, gut punch, losing Anthony Lucas, and then confirming what we knew probably was going to happen with Eric Gentry. But we're so close to this show that I decided just to wait till tonight. But we will be popping up, and the best way to know that we're going live is if you guys have subscribed to us and you have your notification on so that you can join the show. Also, if you're of us on Twitter or Instagram, always on Twitter, I will announce the show, and I know that Preston does as well. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, guys? It's Christian from Mission VO again. Sorry, I got cut out earlier.
Yeah.
I'll keep it quick since
No
I already
problem.
called in.
No, go ahead.
So touching on the losses on defense, who are you expecting to step up most?
Okay. You want me to go first, or you got Preston?
You could go. You could go. I got to think a little bit.
Damn it, I need to think too, and I was trying to get you to stall for me. Who do I think is going to step up the most? Is currently playing now, or who do you think is going to come and step up? I really want to see Braylon Shelby. I mean, there's a lot of promise there, you know, and I mean, as much as I know Lucas, here's the thing. I do believe what Riley's saying. He said great players. Yeah, sure, they're going to make the great play, but really the great players are the ones that mitigate that bad play, right? So I think why it was like it was calling for different players, and we have Muhammad and Jamal Muhammad, and you have Braylon Shelby, and you had Anthony Lucas. Although they weren't getting home and they weren't getting sacks, they just weren't. They haven't been. We're like 118th or something like that in the country when it comes to sacks. They weren't giving up, you know, outside of the Michigan game, they've been really good, especially lately, at kind of shutting down and mitigating the explosive, the big plays. So, but I do want to see. I want to see what the young guys can do. You know, this is second year for Braylon Shelby. You know, Cameron Fountain came in with a lot of excitement from our fan base. The young man can absolutely play. Is he ready for college football? You know, we're gonna find out. I also would love to see. You're going to need get some, maybe we kick someone out. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know, Preston. We're trying to kick around the lineups. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, maybe you see Clifton pop outside, you know, to play that strong side end. And then you bring in, you know, is Jide Abasiri ready? I mean, I really want to see which one of these young guys come in, because yes, they are young, but some of them have been here. Not the ones I named, but just now, but they've been here since spring, right? So they have some time in. I'm really hoping these guys take the next step. So on defense, if that's what you're asking for, I'm gonna go there. Stepping up, it's not really that big a thing. I called Mekhi Lemon to be the dude preseason. Everyone was kind of saying Jacoby Lane. I know Jacoby is awesome as well. All receivers are great, but I really think now that he's back from that cheap shot in Michigan, I think that he's going to come by. And I really think you guys are going to see the receiver this guy is, especially on third downs, especially on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. I really think that he can be that piece. He's going to be able to get you that hard first down on 3rd down. So I'm excited for him stepping up as well. Preston, what do you got? There, I gave you a couple minutes.
Yeah, I see Jacoby heating back up on offense. I mean, I'd like our secondary to be. I'd like our secondary to really. You know, I thought that was going to be the most talented part of this team. I want them to kind of really show their skill and be more locked down. I think, you know, going forward, especially when you look at Maryland on Saturday. They love to throw the ball around the yard, so I'm definitely looking for them to step up and have a good performance, and you know, not allowing these explosives through the air. And yeah, like defensive line wise with the edges, they weren't really getting home. So there's no doubt in my mind that a Cam Fountain can't come in and make an impact. I think these guys like him and Braylon Shelby are definitely going to get a lot better as the games go on. So that's what I would say with that. I think the linebackers are playing solid. So yeah, that's what I say.
All right. So what do you got for us? Who do you think stepping up?
I'd go Cam Fountain.
Yeah,
on defense.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right. No, go ahead, Christian.
I'd say, yeah, I'd like to see Cam Fountain get a more reps, see his potential as a pass rusher. I don't think we'll necessarily get a whole lot of him in run support, but I'd like to see Braylon Shelby step up, you know, setting the edge, getting after the quarterback. Also, Desmond Stevens. Stevens, I think that's going to be good. I mean, it's low key, like, it's never good having a player go down, but having Eric down and, I mean, being able to see Desmond Stevens, what he can do and get him some extra reps, I mean, I think it'll help us out a lot for next year. We'll be able to know what to look at, what he can improve on, and what he'll be able to give us. So those are my two.
No, the Desmond Stevens is an absolute great call to see what he can do. I mean, he's that guy that might just give us that athletic spark that we might need to see that now that we've lost Eric Gentry. Great point. Anything else for us, Christian?
Yeah, real quick. So,
Yeah.
Tim, I've been thinking of every time I'm watching the call-in shows. Has anybody ever said that you kind of look like Matt Barkley?
You just somewhere on the planet, Mac Bartley's crying right now. That's a good looking young man. So
dude,
I'll completely take that as a compliment. But no, I really don't see the comparison. Good old blondie Matt Barkley is like to me he's like the golden boy of football, dude. And then there's nothing golden or football about me like Matt Barkley. God, miss that guy. That guy was awesome, man. Yeah, but appreciate I will take that as a compliment. I don't think he will.
Throw a hat on him, I swear. If you could do a little side by side, you can see a little resemblance.
Oh,
maybe not you, because it's you being compared to him, but I'm sure that everybody else could.
You're gonna make Matt Barkley cry. That's he's just went, oh geez, I look like that guy. Good God. I'm just kidding. But Christian, I appreciate it.
He can pop out on my Twitter if he has a problem with it. It's all good. It's all love.
Hell of a compliment. Great Trojan. I will take that compliment. Thank you very, very much. Great call. Thank you,
I'll
Christian.
The rest for the next show.
All right, man.
Have a good one. Fight on.
Fight on. Appreciate you. Yeah. Matt, probably you're gonna get a DM from Matt Barkley, I'm sure. It's gonna be heated too. He's like, the hell are you talking about? Listen, you guys, I think we are, let me double check before I open my mouth up. We are out of calls and we're past the hour. So listen, thank you guys so much. Make sure that you guys are following us again. Preston, one of these times I'm going to remember it and I'll even write it down. What is your at on Twitter?
Fight on Preston on Twitter, Preston Paradise on YouTube.
And you can catch me, Tim_Prangley on Twitter and Instagram. Listen, thank you guys. Make sure you check out my work. I'm starting over at the LAFB this weekend. The picture you guys saw are the pictures I'm taking at the games for them. So make sure that you guys go over and check out Ryan's work and all their YouTube channel as well. I'm going to have a couple stories up this weekend. Thank you guys all for being here as always. Listen, so what I was going to say, do you want to give your if really quick before we get out of here? What's the USC season can be successful if, Preston? You want to hit that again?
Yeah, just we got to sweat the small stuff. Focus on the details. Focus on the details. That is my answer. We can be successful if we focus on the details and finish.
And then mine is also, I really liked what Riley said, and it makes a lot of sense. And you do see it. You do see some guys, either they're rushing the passer, if they're in coverage, if they're making maybe possibly a game-winning throw. Guys are tightening up. Guys are not making plays that we know that these athletes can make. If the Trojans stay within themselves, they're favored in all these games for a reason. If USC stays in its lane, the players do their job, follow what they're being coached to do, USC is going to be successful. Because the big thing is you're right, it would take an absolute 2007 chaos, bizarro world in college football to get USC into the playoffs now. But I'm now already looking forward to the 2025 season. And we're going to have some, you think we had some tough road games this year? We're going to have some tough road games next year. But I do believe this team is passing the eyeball test. I think this team is getting better. I think the defense is just light years better and ahead of the game. And one last thing, the last two games, we've seen this offensive line slowly improving. If they continue to show this development, I think that you're going to have a lot of Trojan fans happy and might be able to relax and give Henson a little bit of space. We know what we expect here. Right? Listen, we have five Hall of Fame offensive linemen, NFL Hall of Fame linemen. This is offensive lineman U, in my opinion, that we have a heritage at this place, and we can be that again. And we are tailback U. We can be that again. I would love to see it. And anyone thinks that Riley would not welcome having All-American offensive tackles and guards, and then All-American running back running behind them and hand the ball off 30, 40 times a game, I think you're mistaken. I think he would welcome that offense. So fight on, you guys. Appreciate everyone being here. We will be back here for the post-game show. It's a road game, and I am not going out to Maryland, so we will hit it the minute the game gets over. We might even start a little bit early. We might even go into the last minute like we did against Minnesota, although I don't know. That was a jinx maybe we can't do that. But we will be ready for you guys. A post-game show here at the Voice of College Football the minute the game gets over. Make sure you come check us out for that. And then, as always, every Wednesday from now on, we're going to be here. Preston and I will be covering the calls where you guys, now we're not. We're not the last, but we were the first to make a show where you guys are the stars of the show. So make sure you call in next Wednesday. Love the first-time callers. Thank you for being here, Preston. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat. It's all love. Fight on, boys.
Fight on, guys.